Now, a lot of things have changed due to YouTube and especially the hunting public. If you don't watch the hunting public, those dudes, especially, I think his name is Zach, long hair, crazy dude. If there's anybody I can hunt with, that would be a guy. If you're going to hunt, I think the main purpose of why you are hunting needs to be, hey, what's up, good people? So back with another video, and this one is actually bringing back out the hunting rig and getting that kind of warmed up for the year. But kind of what drove me to doing this actually was I shot a competition this past weekend, and I was like, dang, a lot of these guys are shooting hunting rigs, and I'm out here with the target bow. Ended up changing my bars around. Not that that's really changing a lot, because I still kept the weight. Obviously, with distribution was a little bit different. I had to balance the bow just slightly differently. But beyond the point, the main point is I kind of wanted to prove it to myself that I can still shoot my hunting rig like as good or close to. So stick along if you guys want to see me shoot the mini face, Vegas face, along with my Skinny Boy Rip TKOs with my Matthews V3X. So if that's interesting to you, and as well, I'm going to give a few little thoughts on hunting and the hunting community along the way. If any of that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. Let's get this thing started. So I always get tired of people that, not always, I love archery, and I would listen to somebody ramble about archery and hunting and all that fun stuff. But this channel is definitely based around shooting, so we're gonna jump right into shooting, and then we'll get around to the whole conversation. So I think I'm gonna shoot 5 rounds on the mini Vegas face. As you guys can see, I already shot 3 shots. That was my warm up. So we're gonna get this thing moving and hopefully beat a little bit of this light, but I got a spotlight on it, so hopefully I can see it just fine. Slow. Yikes, that was a little left. We'll see how it goes. So obviously the score is going to be popping up somewhere in one of these corners. But we're going to keep it pushing, and let's see how we score. Now we are shooting in 2. Shank that one. Oops. Am I hitting right now? That's in 2. 9-8-7 was the score with a that 7 was like thick. That was a second shot. That was not very good. But so I think there's a lot of things going on inside the hunting community, and every year it's a thing. And I talk to my brother about it very often in regards to gear and people wanting to upgrade, or as it comes to and relates to archery inside of like your bow, but also people get bent out of shape when it comes down to actually the camo. I think sometimes we get that even like completely bent out of shape. Now, for context, 5 years into this hunting thing, I've been hunting, basically a COVID hunter. My neighbor, Alfredo, actually got me into it. Shout out to him. He set the stage for a lot of what I do. Now, a lot of things have changed due to YouTube and especially the hunting public. If you don't watch the hunting public, those dudes, especially, I think his name is Zach, long hair, crazy dude. If there's anybody I can hunt with, that would be a guy that I would really love to hunt from. Like, this guy is just a freak. Really, really dope to actually see him hunt and see the process of how he likes to get on the ground and get active. Now, I'm a saddle guy, but seeing him get on the ground and hunt a whitetail, crazy to me. But beyond the point, I think sometimes we get bent out of shape with the gear that we're actually using and thinking that we need the latest and greatest. This thing is my first major purchase in regards to the archery thing, and I have had no need to upgrade. I mean, sometimes people are like, yeah, well, I'm getting 5 more feet per second. It's like, at the end of the day, like, what am I actually gaining? Go ahead to be daddy real quick, so forgive me if my notes and thoughts are a little bit out of whack, but I wanted to take a few seconds to actually talk about something that actually kind of grinds my gears a little bit. Not necessarily grinds it to the point of actual high level frustration, but I do think it's a point of people get so bent out of shape in regards to their gear, in regards to how and where they're going to shoot or hunt and all of these things, where they actually prevent themselves from just being the weekend warrior that just gets out into the woods and figures it out on the fly. Because we got to have all these things figured out, whether that be the gear and thinking that, oh, I need to keep up with the Joneses, or you have guys that legit have don't care about their gear, but then they're thinking about where's the wind direction, where's all of this, and I got to get this exactly right to kill a deer. Now, there's a whole nother topic in regards to hunting for game and enjoying the sport versus hunting to actually eat and enjoy the actual nutrition for the family, but that's another conversation for a little bit later. I really wanted to talk about the actual gear as it relates to archery. Sometimes we're like, I need to upgrade for 5 more feet per second or a smoother draw. It's like, man, it was working. Like, now if you got the money, great, like go for it, do the thing. But I think like Privileged Bow Hunter was just talking about, like, man, when you upgrade, like make sure it's like you're not just being brand loyal, but I think the conversation goes a little bit deeper, even beyond just being brand loyal. I think it also just comes to the question of like, do I actually need the thing? And is it bringing back any type of return for me as an individual? Or is it just like, I'm keeping up with the Joneses, but saying that I'm not and trying to like say that it's for me, and great, if it is for you, like I believe that you can do that. I have more bowls than I ever thought I would ever own. But at the end of the day, like, I know why I was upgrading. Now, do I have to explain that to everybody? No. And do you have to explain that to everybody? Definitely not. Definitely not to me either. But I think at the end of the day, especially when it comes down to camo, like I think about the dudes that were hunting in these like crazy red freaking blue jeans out there just hunting and killing plenty of deer, way more deer than most of the people that I know that hunt. But then we get out, oh, well, I got to match the actual tree, the exact tree. I need to put it all in like a closed Ziploc bag inside of another bag with like a bunch of like charcoal grill, real wood. Like, I think sometimes we just get so fixated on this idea of like perfection, when in reality it's just get out there and do the thing. Now, what are my credentials? My credentials are, I got a few bucks in the last 5 years in my first year hunting, and whatever. Now, that's not my claim to fame. At the end of the day, my claim to fame is that I fed my family only on deer meat for the last 5 years. That right there to me is like the biggest like flex, and that's on public land, and not like flex as in like I'm doing something special, but it's like the thing that I actually take a lot of pride in, because I want my family eating what I'm providing. And I know I'm working a full-time job and trying to build a small business, but at the end of the day, like I love the idea of eating real organic meat that I hunted. Like, there's just a level of pride to it. I know where it came from. I know what's in it. Whatever I did to it, that's what I did. That's a whole nother side note. But the thing about the camo, I think sometimes we like blow that out of proportion, where it's like, I need the right thing. Man, I've killed plenty of deer in this right here, this little $8 North Face little pullover, because early season, it's hot. I needed something light, but I was not spending $80 on a nice little camo throwover. And then I found this and I was like, oh, well, they say not to wear ultraviolet, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And at the end of the day, I actually ended up tripling up one day in this actual shirt. Now, am I saying you need to wear the highlighted, craziest stuff? No, but what I am saying is be still, be quiet, and play all those other, the wind and all those other directions. But at the end of the day, know how your deer are coming in, know where they're coming out. And I say know where they're coming in, like if they're yours, man, at the end of the day, I'm hunting public. So it's like you just take the best guess that you can and then go full send it and just hope that is your day. But all that being said, that's enough for like my little 2 cents. If y'all got a thought on that particular topic in regards to your bow or your camo and feeling like if you need to upgrade it or not, please leave it in the comments. And we are going to come back to the does and the bucks and what you should be shooting and what you shouldn't at the very end of this video. But I got 3 more ends to shoot. So let's get started before that battery dies on that target in regards to the light that is, because it's a little headlight that burns out pretty quick. 3rd end. Why am I shaking that so far right? I definitely know I'm pointing the bow and not shooting. You got some things to fix. It's crazy. All right, so that was 9.77 for N3, going into N4. Here we go. Put it in the middle. Let's see if we can do it again. Put it in the middle. I think that's right. That was N4. All right, that was a lot better. That was X1010. That's what I expect to be shooting. All right, so last end, 5th end. And as I said, at the end of this, we're gonna talk about probably my biggest hot topic in my head as it relates to hunting, and something I heard on a different podcast that a person was, we'll get to that in a second. End 5, final end. I rushed that. I'm rushing my second shot. This one's going in the middle. Tighten up, will you? Here we go. Said obviously we'll have the score posted somewhere on the screen, but the main topic that I really wanted to talk about was the idea of hunting just for antlers. Now, obviously everybody's gonna have their own opinion on this, but mine simple take on this whole idea of hunting is if you're going to hunt, I think the main purpose of why you're hunting needs to be to eat, or at least to feed another community. Maybe you don't like the meat, and maybe you are always donating it, or maybe you're going to Africa and donating all of the monkey meat and all of the gazelle meat that you're hunting to the local community, and you're just enjoying the thrill of hunting. Now, that's like a whole nother topic in regards to like what you enjoy and what you don't. But again, that's a different conversation. But I heard somebody say the other day that they would be willing to shoot a deer and leave it just so they can go hunt bucks. To me, that is nonsense and crazy talk. And to keep all of this whole point like really, really brief and to the point, at the end of the day, I think you should be hunting to eat and feed your family or feed a community somewhere. And as you grow to understand and better understand the game that you're hunting and trying to get better at hunting them, it is a skill set. At the end of the day, I think you should take pride in that. But I think the pride should be first and foremost the nutrition as it relates back to your family and trying to actually utilize the resource that God has blessed us with and not to make it over spiritual. But at the end of the day, I think that's just the right thing to do, whether that's a cool thing or the popular thing in the hunting community. And I know I don't post a lot of hunting content, and some of that's on purpose because some of the stuff I just don't really understand the reason and why people do what they do. But I do know why I do it. And I think it's the right reason, which is to feed my family. So take it for what it's worth. All of y'all be better, be great, and whatever you choose to do. And I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on it. And if you are a game hunter where it's like, I just want to hunt the antlers, I just want the buck, tell me why. Tell me why that's such like the thing to do, why that's the most important. Now keep in mind, I am a public land hunter, so me shooting a doe is super exciting, especially just to see it where I'm at in Tennessee, because it's not like we're overpopulated, especially in my general little pocket. But with all that being said, once again, y'all be better, be great. William Alderman is out. Peace.